Hello, everyone. Welcome to Google Educator Group Nagoya Online Live. This is episode 9 for the year 2020. Whether you're joining us live right now or you're watching it afterwards, we hope that you get a lot out of this episode, which we really like. It's YouTube in the classroom. We can't possibly tell you everything and give you, a million ideas of what you can do with YouTube in the classroom, but we hope to give you some ideas that you can take away. So let's quickly share the screen here and jump into the little bit of slide deck stuff that we normally start with, kind of introducing ourselves and who we are. And a little bit about YouTube, actually a lot about YouTube. Okay, so thanks for joining us today. Today is, like I said, episode 9, and we're talking about learning engagement with YouTube. Towards the end, we're going to tell you a little bit about how you can set up your channel, but more about that in a moment. So first, we are GEG Nagoya, which means Google Educator Group. You can find us at gegnagoya.com, and you can find us on Facebook and Twitter as well. Reach out, ask us questions. We're here to help you with your educational technology needs. We're here to support. Just a little bit about GEGs. Google Educator Groups are supported by Google, but they're run by volunteers of people that are passionate about educational technology. But keep in mind, we put the education ahead of the technology. Here's a slightly old list of GEGs around the country of Japan, where we're broadcasting from. So if you live, well, it doesn't matter where in the world you live. If you want a little bit of EdTech love, then look for a Google Educator Group in your area. You can find that in the Google Teachers Center under their Communities tab. So what do Google Educator Groups do? Well, our focus is educational technology with the emphasis on education. We are collaborative. We have online and offline professional events. Since COVID-19, of course, we've been strictly online. Like these YouTube live online sessions once a month, mostly the first Wednesday of every month. We've just finished up a Google Certified Educator Study Group for the Level 1 exam. We did that completely online as well. We have unconferences where people get together and decide the topics on the day, and things like Try It on Monday teacher events where we share ideas for a day and then we try it on Monday. Things like pub nights, lesson plan jams, and we're working on student events. That'll be the next step. Keep in mind, we're also a member of GEG Asia Pacific Connect. So if you type GEG Asia Pacific Connect, you'll probably come to this Google site /GEG Asia. And we are planning an event for December where we'll have at least 10 languages and a whole range of ideas for educational technology. Large focus on Google, but we'll have other things with a specialized theme. Stay tuned for that because you might want to join us over a few days. And we do partner with other groups like ETJ Aichi, a group of English teachers that provide professional development, as well as the EdCamp movement with EdCamp Nagoya. And we like to support people with their Google journeys, such as doing the Google certifications. There's level 1, 2 as a certified educator, and you can be a certified trainer and innovator after you've reached level 1 and level 2. Reach out to us if you want to know more about that. And before we really get rolling, stay tuned for episode 10. We're going to show you all the cool things with Google Earth, which is a really powerful tool now. So stay tuned for October 7th. And so today, episode 9, learning engagement with YouTube. Let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is show you where you're going to access YouTube, just in case there's people that may not know. Up here in the top right, when you're logged into your Gmail account, you want to go up to your apps launcher. Some people call it the waffle. You tap on that, and you're going to tap on YouTube. Now, I've already got my YouTube channel open. Well, this is the GEG Nagoya YouTube channel. So if you tap on that icon in your apps launcher, you'll come to this. But you're thinking, hey, this isn't my page. What? Well, you want to go up here to where you see your own profile avatar, right? That'd be this right up here. So you're going to tap on that, and you're going to choose your channel. And this is where all the magic really happens. Now, we're going to focus on a number of things, which I declined to show you. Here, let me kind of pop up this screen just for one moment. This is the menu that we're going to go through today. We're going to show you how to access and navigate your YouTube channel. We're going to show you how to create and share playlists. And then we're going to talk about YouTube with Google Slides and Google Forms. We're going to get into that stuff first because it's a little more practical and it's a little less complicated than some of the other things. We are going to show you some third-party apps you might want to use YouTube with. We'll focus on EdPuzzle and Book Creator and perhaps TED-Ed. And as a content creator, if you're thinking, I'd like to get my videos on YouTube, then we're going to show you how to quickly take a video using a Chrome extension called Screencastify, and how you can upload that and how you can have defaults and things like that with your YouTube channel. We may or may not have time to talk about broadcasting with StreamYard, which is exactly what we're doing right now. So let's put that aside and go back to our channel. So you've gone to the apps launcher, the waffle, while you're logged into your account, and now you've come up to this, okay? And you might be wondering, I've got videos made, or maybe there are other videos that I want to add to a playlist. Well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to show you how to do this. All right, so let's say, for example, you find a video on the internet that you like. So I'm going to go with this one that I kind of popped up. Now, let's say you want to create a new playlist. You've got a unit of study in your classes. So for example, in this case, it's Japanese history. We are in Japan, so please forgive the topic. Let's say you find a video you like. Well, down here below videos, where you see this little plus button, that's where you want to go. And if you tap that, you're going to get your options of playlists that already exist. And if you want to put it in a playlist you already have, you just simply have to check the box. You can put a video in multiple playlists. So I'm going to uncheck that actually, because I want to create a new one. And it's down here where you would create your new playlist. So click create playlist, and then I'm going to delete this later, but I'm going to call it Japanese history. And you can choose the privacy settings. If you want it unlisted so that only your students have a link to the playlist, then that's fine. Or you could have it public. I'm going to just kind of leave it public right now. And all you have to do is click create. So now, if I have another video that I want to go to, let's say here's another video that I have. Let me tap on that. I'm going to pause it so you don't have to hear that. And all I have to do now is tap on, again, that same part, this little thing right here, the little plus button with the hamburger. Whoop. My apologies. My fingers slip every once in a while. Let me go back to that. So you tap on that, and then you just have to find your playlist. And there it is, Japanese history right there. So I tap. And all I had to do then is tap out. And now I know that it has been saved to my Japanese history playlist. Okay, so if we come back here, and in my YouTube channel, right here, all I had to do is go to my playlist tab. Now, if I click on videos, I can see all the videos that I have uploaded. I've got my choice of choosing my uploads or my live streams. You're going to notice GEG Nagoya has more live streams than uploaded videos. And then back to the playlist tab. If I tap on that, you're going to notice here now I have one called Japanese history. So now what if I want to share this with my students, right? Well, what I'm going to do is tap it, and it takes you to the very first video in your playlist. But let's say I want to manipulate this. I don't want this to be my first history. First video in my playlist. I want to move these around. Well, I can actually click that and just kind of drag it. You see that? I'm just kind of clicking and dragging and putting them in order. Because when we teach, often our units are in a specific chronological order, and that's kind of nice. Now, you can do that here, but this actually is a link to the video. We're not in our playlist yet. To get to our playlist, what we want to do is zoom in here to where it says the title of the playlist. So I'm going to tap on that. And now I'm actually into my playlist. When you see these pop-up thumbnails, you can just click X and get rid of them if they happen to be kind of annoying you. But here again, you can see this is where we can move around and change the order just by clicking and dragging. If we want, we can sort if you have a very long playlist by dates and things like that. If you would like, you can change the title of your playlist here. So you can see this is where you do all of your playlist editing, right? So I can tap there. Japanese history, maybe I'll call it in 360 because that's exactly what these videos are. Remember to click save. If I want a description, I can edit that and say Japanese history videos, ancient history. All right, I'll just leave it at that. I might want to, be careful of my capitalization. And remember to click save. Now, here's where I can share it. Now, yes, you can go up to the top in URL box and click, Command Save, or you can go down here to where it says Share, and then that's where you can share it to social media and things like that. So you just have to click Copy. If you want to, you can embed. If you choose the embed code, you can put that into a website. But I've just shared the link. Now you have these ellipses as well right here. You tap on that, and then I could add videos to it. I could change settings to the playlist, for example, whether it's public or not, which you can do right here. You can collaborate. So that means you can add other people. If you toggle this, you click done, and then you have a list of collaborators that you would add. So again, you can copy this link and send it to your collaborators, which you do have to set later on. So I'm going to actually toggle that off, and I'm going to click done. But keep in mind that you can add collaborators. So again, let's say I want to share this playlist. I just have to copy that. And let's say I start my email. I just really have to paste it into an email and send it to people. So it's pretty straightforward how you can create a playlist. Now, remember, if you don't like a playlist, you're going to have to come back to this place. So I'm going to go back to my channel just to walk you through it again. Okay, so I'm here at my home channel. Now remember, if you don't get this when you first get in, click on your avatar and choose your channel. If you click home, it's going to take you to the YouTube home. So I'm going to click on playlists again. I'm going to click on the playlists that I might want to delete or modify. And I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to tap on that playlist at the top, and I go back here to my ellipses again. If you see these vertically, people tend to call it a snowman. I don't know, this is a snowman that fell down perhaps. But if you tap that, you can play around, you can check playlist settings and that, but this is where you would delete the playlist. Let's show you the settings. So if you click on advanced settings, then you get the old view of YouTube, and then you can kind of change some of your privacy settings. I'm going to cancel that, and I'm going to go back to the view that you're more commonly going to use, which is this one right here. So if I don't need this playlist, then I'm going to tap my ellipses, and I'm going to click delete playlist, and it gives you a warning, and then you can click delete. Okay, and so there you go. Now it takes you back to a number of your videos, your library in fact. So I want to go back to my channel, so I'm going to click your channel. So hopefully you've seen in YouTube videos the subscribe button, right? If you like something, you can click on that and subscribe to it. And that means the creators, every time you make a new video, they'll get a notification in their email. As a teacher, that's very helpful because you can get the new videos from a channel that you really like, and you're not going to be kind of behind, right? So now that we've kind of walked you through how to access videos, how to copy videos into a playlist, how to add videos to a playlist, how to create your own playlist. In fact, I don't believe I've shown you how to create a, yes, I did show you how to create a playlist. So you can go back in the video and review that if you'd like. But the thing is, what if we have a video that we want to use in our class, right? So I'm going to go back to another video here. Pause that so you don't get the noise. Okay, so I have a video that I want to use. Well, I'm going to, right now, copy the link. So I go down to the share icon and I click copy, right? And I tap out of that. Let's say I want to share this in a Google form. Okay, so I've already made my Google form. I've gone into my episode here. So I've made my form in Google Drive. And let's say you want to use video in your classroom. Well, I've gone ahead and I've made my Google form. I think I'm going to change the theme a little bit there, though. I'm going to make that a little redder because we're talking about YouTube here. But this is a sample form. Now, I have turned this into a Google Forms quiz, and you can tell that because I have total points at the top. I hope I'm not going too fast for people. If I click on the gear wheel at the top and choose settings, that's where you're going to activate the quizzes. I do recommend you collect emails. You might want to give a response receipt. That's in another session with Google Forms, which I believe we did one night already this year. So you make sure that this is toggled on so that you can make a quiz and assign point values. So what I've done is gone in and I've made my first question. Of course, if this was a quiz based on a video, I would make a whole bunch of other questions, right? But this is just a sample question to show how it works. Just to click the answer key, you can see I've actually made an answer key with feedback from my students. I'm going to click done in a moment. I could change the point value and all that. Let's say we're going to make that just 1 point. Fair for a multiple choice question. But let's say I want to add a video from YouTube. So here on the right side, you see this this bar, right? So I'm going to click add video, right? You can add images and text and things, but I want to add a YouTube video. So I'm going to click add video, and I could do a search if I want. So Japanese history, 47 Ronin. I tap that, I get all these different videos, and I have to kind of scroll through them. So I recommend that you find a video that you like and give the exact title in here, or even just copy and paste the URL. This is the one that I want. So I click select, and so now I've got my video here. And maybe I want to give it a video title, right? 47 Ronin. Of course, the title's already here, so I don't necessarily need that. I'm going to click on my ellipses here just to center it. And if I want to change the video, that's where I would go to change the video, or I could just delete it and start again from here. Of course, you can just duplicate this and change the video as well. And with your ellipses, if you tap that, you can add a caption to it, right? Story of the 47 legendary samurai. And of course, I want to check my spelling. And I tap out of that. So just a suggestion, in the description of the video with instructions, I always tell students to read the questions first so that when they look at a video, they know what they're looking for. And then I tell them, hey, watch the video. And then after that, I say respond to the questions. So you want to go up here and hit preview, kind of see what it looks like. And so you can see that the video pops up and they can watch the video right there in Google Forms. Or if they tap on YouTube, then they can view it as a pop-up. So we'll tap that out. And of course, they've finished the quiz and they just have to hit submit. Again, I recommend you collect the email address, maybe even ask them to write their name so you know exactly who it is that responded to the question. So that's basically Google Forms with YouTube. So I encourage you, use video for either quizzes or even just classroom activities. So let's close out of those. So I want to show you Google Slides, and I'm going to come into Google Slides. Now, if you're new to Google, you find Google Slides in the same way you would have found your YouTube and all your other apps. You're going to go up to your apps launcher very quickly. You're going to go click on Google Drive, or if you want, you can click on Slides right here. So, but I've already made my slides, so I'm going to go in here. So what I recommend is after you have your slide ready, have a box or a text box where you're going to have your questions, right? Maybe we'll put a little border around that to make it look make it a little easier for me to kind of align things. So let's say I want to take that same video. All right, so I go to my YouTube video, I click on the share icon, and I'm going to copy the link, and I'm going to go back to my slide. I just have to go up to the Insert tab, tap that, and choose Video. Now, at the moment with Google Slides, you can only embed YouTube videos, all right? And even the HTML, you can't embed Vimeo and things like that. If you want, though, you could embed video from Google Drive. If you've got a video in Google Drive, then you can upload that. So it doesn't actually have to be on YouTube. It could be a video you have in Drive. Again, you could search YouTube and see what you get. And as you can see, same list as before. So I'm going to go by URL, paste my URL. That's the video I want. So I'm going to click select. And because I already have my text box here, it's set up there for me very, very nicely. If you want, maybe add a text box down below just to give credit for the video or something like that. But what I want to do is show you the format options here. Now, this will automatically pop up in your slides presentation. Let me close that for a moment, because when you go back to edit later, you probably want to know where it's at, right? So here we've got format options, right? Now, to get that, you do have to tap on your video. In fact, let me put like a little border around that video, kind of have like I have with the other one. Right, so now I've got my borders around two things here, and I'll put a caption down here just to pretty it up a little bit. But when I tap on the video, okay, now I can't play it and watch it. If I tap on that, it's not going to work for me. Oh, you can play and watch it. Whoops, I lied to you. Let me pause that right there. But I've tapped on it, and I'm going to go to Format Options. And so if it's a video where you only want them to watch 1 minute of it, so let's say it's at 2 minutes and, whoops, not 20 minutes, 2 minutes and 15 seconds, and I want to end it at, say, 4 minutes and 15 seconds. I only want them to watch 2 minutes of the video. This means it's going to start right in there. Now, if you want, you can use the autoplay mode just by checking it, and that means it'll automatically start when they're looking at the presentation, or mute audio. So the video comes up, but it won't be distracting. You can then they can change the audio themselves, right? You can, change the rotation of it. So if you want to change the height and the scale and the width and things like that, you can just tap that. And there we go. That's back to, I think, where we want it. Okay. You can lock the ratio aspect, meaning you've tapped that and now it's going to stay in place. And the position, things like that, you can change where it's at. And you can add a drop shadow to the video. And the color, if you want to make it look a little prettier. Let me scroll down here a little bit. Maybe put a white drop shadow in there, just for those people like myself who like to have videos looking, my slides looking really pretty. But that's about it. You can do that with photos and things like that too, so that when you go to present or a student watches it, let's say you're doing a presentation and you want to show just a little bit of the video in your slide presentation, whether it's a keynote or for your class, and you just tap in the middle, and you notice it started at 215. Or 2 minutes and 15 seconds is where it started at. And it will automatically end after those 2 minutes. Really great if you're giving a slide presentation. And maybe it's a video in your class you're watching, and then you could have questions for them to think about right here as they watch the video here. So let me exit out of that. And so that is basically how you would use YouTube videos and Google Slides. Something I do like to do when I have a classroom activity where there's instructions on a slide projected and students are working together collaboratively just on that slide. Let me show what I do. Let's say I give them 2 minutes. Let's say maybe, let's be realistic here, 5 minutes. So I'm going to go 5 minute timer. If I tap on that, I'm going to look for a YouTube video that has a 5 minute timer. Let's see, I kind of like that one. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to copy the link address. Of course, you could tap on it and click it, but that's the fastest way to do it. So this is what I do. Let's say this is my slide. I want people to do something. There's instructions on the slide. I'm going to go to Insert. I'm going to choose Video. I'm going to paste the URL, and I'm going to tap that. And it's going to come up very large. But what I like to do is drag it up here into the top corner. Let me just get that right there. And I'm going to click the corners, the blue corners. I'm going to tap it. And once I see it snap in place right there, when I do my presentation with my students, and there's a 5 minute timer, I'll give them the instructions on the, with the slide projected. And then I can just kind of tap that. And then they're going to see this little timer in the top corner. It's not distracting. It doesn't look really bad. And then as they follow the instructions that are projected on the board, working together collaboratively, then you've got this nice 5 minute timer that they can refer to and see how much time they actually have left, which I think is pretty cool, right? Something else I like to do, let's go with, let's see, I think that's their name. Gonna leave that, and let's go with videos. I sometimes I have, gonna copy the link address there. Okay, of course you can go in and copy the YouTube video like you would before. Instead, what I want to do is put music. So when the song ends, then you're done. Or if you want some background ambient music, so I'm going to tap that. If I want, I can, right click and choose format options and that kind of thing, but I'm going to click format options. Now you notice here, you cannot change the video in here, right? Even if you click more and all that, it's not going to help. So what I actually have to do is delete the whole video. So I'm going to go to insert, get insert video, same idea. All right, so that didn't give me the video that I want. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to tap. Let's see, that's not what I wanted. So let me just go back again. I've lied to you. That's the second time tonight. I'm so bad. I'm going to tap on that, and this is the video I want. So I'm going to copy that link address. I'm going to go back to my slide. I tap that in, and there's the video. I'm going to click select. And I'm going to go through the same process. I'm just going to put it up there nicely in the corner. Yeah, I'm going to wait, snap that into place. Maybe drag it over just a little bit. If you're using video in the classroom like this, I do recommend that at the bottom, what I do is put the song credit, song by Kade Leo Shine, or whatever. And then, of course, when I project, all I have to do is tap on, hey, MK, I see you there. I'm just going to say hello. So when I project, now all I have to do is tap the video, and now we have a song that's actually playing. So it's a little bit nicer, right? And of course, you can set it to when it begins and when it ends. So there's another way that you can use YouTube with Google Slides when you're doing something with your students. So let me just close that up here, and we'll put that aside. So now what I want to do is show you some third-party tools, okay, where you can use Google Apps, right? Or sorry, where you can use YouTube. So I'm going to go here again, and I'm going to copy the URL of my video. And the first one I'm going to show you is EdPuzzle. EdPuzzle is a very cool tool. I've already logged in here, but as an overview, what EdPuzzle does is allow you to create a quiz with a video, a YouTube video, where you can pause it at certain moments, and then you can have audio content. You can record yourself. You can have open answer questions or multiple choice questions, and you can set it so that it forces students to either go back and review before they answer the question, or they just answer the question if they get it. So this is the interface that you would get when you have your account. You always sign in as a teacher. Under the My Classes tab up here, you can tap that, and you can create a new class. I've just gone with GEG Nagoya Class A. There is a grade book where you can give grades to students, and you can export them in Excel spreadsheet and then put it into a Google Sheet. But content is where you're probably going to go the most. Now, you've got popular channels here identified by EdPuzzle. No surprise, TED Talks, Khan Academy, National Geographic, and, of course, YouTube. There can be curriculum that you can look through. If you want to look through a high school curriculum, you can tap in there. And where I've got one set up here for my school, but my content is where you're going to add stuff. So when you use a video from YouTube for this, that's where you're going to go first. So you're going to click Add Content, that blue button right there. And you're going to choose Create a Video. Now, if you've made a video, you can upload it. If you've got a student project, I encourage you to go check out EdPuzzle, but you can get students working on specific projects. And you can make folders. Now, for the sake of what we're doing today, I'm just going to click Create a Video. And so they give you some videos that you want and things like that. But what you want to do is go up to the search bar here in the top left. And you want to paste the link to that video and click Search. And le voila, the video comes up. We don't see the whole thing, but that's okay. So what you want to do is play through the video and stop at certain points, right? So let's say for here, you kind of go, whoop. I'm going to pull it up here just for the sake of argument. Now I'm going to pause it. And let's say I want to add a voiceover, right? I'm going to click voiceover. Oh, and okay, so this is not allowing me to do this with this video. You got to upload your own video to do voiceover. My apologies. That is a new one. That's got to be new. All right. So what you would do, though, then, is use questions. It's still a good tool for this. So let's say I want to add a question there. I'm going to add an open-ended question. Let's say, how do you feel about this, idea of samurai loyalty? You might want to come up with a better question than that, but I'm going to click Save. And so what's going to happen is for the student, right, you can just see that automatically paused. It goes back, and it forces them to respond, right? Now, we haven't seen the student view yet, So we're going to click continue. I'm going to pause that and I'm going to go ahead. Let's say up here, wherever it is, I've got, now I want a multiple choice question. So I'm going to type my question here and I'm going to type, so I'm going to type without spelling errors and things like that. Let's see. And I'm going to put A and I'm going to click X here if that's not the correct response. I'm going to click B. Whoops, not Command B, but B. And maybe that's my correct response. And I'm going to add C. I'm going to add D. You would have longer options to choose from, of course. And then I'm going to click Save. And notice that you don't have to stop at 4. You can do more. So I click Save. And notice it goes back again and then moves on. So this is, again, the teacher view, right? Note, too, that you can cut videos if you want. You can chop them and trim them from the beginning to the end. You can only chop and trim the beginning and the end, which is a little bit of a bummer, but hey, what are you going to do? So if you want, you can edit anything that you've created, right? All your questions, right? Let's say, oh, the answer wasn't B, actually it was C. And I go back and fix that and click Save. And you notice every time I add an element, it's got a little thing at the bottom. It shows me as the teacher editing that that's where my elements are. And all I have to do is tap on those to go back, and then I can edit them with my edit button here. Let me just jump ahead here. Now let me pause. There's another thing you can add. Add a note and say, also keep in mind, ... You can add additional information, right? So yeah, that could be a link to another website or something like that as well. And so when you're all done, you just have to go up here to the top and click Finish. And so this is what it looks like now that you've created your EdPuzzle video. And what you can do is click Assign. You can edit it. You can duplicate it. You can delete it. If you want, you can change it from public to private. Let's just kind of keep it on public for now. And I click Assign. And I'm going to choose the class. Now, you have to make a class first, and you have to have students join it. So I'm going to click GEGA. Now, notice here it's got prevent skipping. So that means students must answer the questions. And if you want to turn on closed captioning, that's always a good idea. If you're not sure what these are, look at the little information button there. You can add a due date if you want. Let's say it's due on Friday. And you can change, make it due on Friday. And you can change the time down here, right? So let's make it due at maybe 7 o'clock. So it's 7 o'clock p.m. And then I'm going to click Save. It's already been assigned. Well, once I click Assign, it's going to be assigned. Notice you can add a new class right there if you want. And so now your students, you will have access to it. So you're going to want to click Share Assignment. If you want, you can go live and do it in the class with the Go Live mode. But if you click on Share Assignment, that gives you a link. You can copy that, or you can embed it into a website, right? So, and again, you can share that link at Google Classroom and that kind of thing. And essentially, that is it. Now, once the students have done it, you want to go back to your gradebook. And now I don't have anything assigned from before. If you go to my classes, you're going to see other things I had assigned, right? Due dates and who's turned things in and that kind of thing. So you can go back and then you can look at all of your grades. And through this is where you can turn things in. So for example, if I tap on this one, down here, you can see download grades. So it's pretty straightforward. Notice I haven't graded one of the answers here. Whoops, I have to go back and grade. But essentially, that is EdPuzzle. Very versatile tool. Good way to use YouTube in the class, especially if you're teaching asynchronously, right? I wouldn't do this with a class that you're teaching in class face-to-face or remotely. Use it in a flipped model where students are doing it on their own, and then you talk about it later in class. So I'm going to just log out of that. You can do 20 of these videos in the free account. You can earn more space, or you can buy more space and that kind of thing. So that's EdPuzzle. Pretty cool. And there's one more that I want to show you, and this is called Book Creator. I'm going to first, actually, I'll come back to that in a moment. So I've already logged into Book Creator. I don't have any books. But with Book Creator, you can create a multimedia digital book that you can share with the public or you can share privately. We're not going to go through everything about Book Creator, but the reason I'm bringing this in is because YouTube videos mix in very well with Book Creator, and students can get their voice out there, share content, or if you want, you can create a class book based on things that students have done. It could be a book on educational technology, how-to videos or whatever. But for a class book, it's a good idea. And you can make up to 40 books with their free account, which is way cool. So once you've logged in, I do encourage you to check your library settings and all that kind of stuff. Again, like students can read each other's books and edit each other's books if you're working on a class book, for example. So I'm going to click on New Book. And you want to decide on the kind of book that you want. I'll go with portrait for this one, but you can use like comic book styles and that kind of thing. I might go with portrait here because it saves me from having to create my elements. So I've got my book already kind of set up for me here, right? If I want to create a cover, let's say I just want to add content here. Let me just go with let's go with a sticker here. Let's go with this one. You see that's creating my my thing. And I'm going to open that up. And I've right-clicked on it so I can change fonts and copy things and all that. And let's say I want to add maybe some text. I'll click caption. And I'm going to say, my book, or Japanese history, or whatever. And then I can take that and put it on top of that. Spin it a little bit, right? Maybe make it a little bit bigger. Tap on it and maybe italicize it, maybe bold it. Right, I'll click done. And kind of get that right in the middle. And that's looking kind of okay. Let me put that there. You can play around with alignment and all that kind of stuff. But that's the cover of my book. I would click the plus button. This is where you can add media. You can add text boxes, shapes, and things like that. So what I'm going to do, though, is go to this arrow right here, and we're going to add a page, right? And so now I'm going to click plus, and I'm going to choose media. If I want, I can add panels. Let's see. For this, maybe let's have a little look at what they have there. Let's maybe choose what's got a nice big kind of block in there that I can use. Now, let's not go with panels, actually. I'm just going to go with media, and I'm going to choose import. Now, you notice you can take things in from your camera. You can put a pen. You can put text. You can record yourself talking, which is quite cool. I'm going to choose import. And what I'm going to do, if I want, I can do maps and files and drive and things like that. In this case, I want to choose embed. Okay, so it says embed a web page. So what I'm going to do is go back to my video, and I'm going to go to share again, right down there. Tap that, and I'm going to choose embed. And I'm going to highlight all of that, and I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to come back to my book, and right there is where I'm going to put my embed code, copy the link, and now I get my video here, right? And I can change the title if I want in here. I'll just for now leave it as it is, and voila! When they open up pages 2 and 3, I've got this massive video in there that they can look at. Or if I want, I can get a little bit more creative. Maybe I'll add a text box right here. Let's go with, maybe not comics. Let's use text. And, background info. I'm going to click done. I'm going to drag that over here. I'm just going to change the size a little bit. And as I type, you're going to see that it's going to get a little bit longer. So you have to put, like the right amount of text in there. So you can play around with the text and that kind of thing. And then you could put more images and pictures, maybe questions and that kind of thing. So, what is this going to look like? Let's go back here. In fact, I do want to show you one more thing. Let's go with media. Since we're on Book Creator, it's a cool tool. I'm going to click record. It wants to use my microphone. I'll click allow. I'm going to click start recording. All right, welcome to my book. And this is a cool book, and I'm going to put a bunch of random stuff in here that I think is really cool. Thanks for reading. And then I can listen to my recording. Let's say I accept, I think it's a good enough recording. It's going to upload the file right there, and it's already chosen how it's going to look based on the theme. And so let's say I want to play this so I can see how these two different multimedia pieces kind of work. So I go up here to my play button. I'm going to tap that. Hopefully you can hear this, but when I tap on the record, or sorry, the audio icon. All right, welcome to my book, and this is a cool book, and I'm going to put a bunch of random stuff. Now, hopefully you heard that. I've got my earplugs, or sorry, my headphones in, so you might not be able to see that. Note here it's got read to me there, so you can tap on that. And when I go to my next page, all I have to do is tap on the video. And basically that's how you could use YouTube with Book Creator. It is pretty cool. I do encourage you to play around with Book Creator. And then you've got your multimedia book. One other thing, you want to share it, you've got to tap your share button and choose Publish Online. Or you can download it as an ebook where the links will be active, which is kind of cool. So let me just kind of go back here and going to go back to my books, and I'm going to log out of this. Actually, I'm just going to put it aside for a moment. So now we've looked at using YouTube in a number of ways in a class, but we've got a little bit of time left. Let me just pull that out of there, come back here. So I want to show you how it kind of looks in if you're a content creator. So if you don't plan on making videos for your students, teaching them certain things or explaining things, this might not be a section or a segment for you. But if you are somebody that wants to create a channel, even just a simple channel so that you can put tutorials and lessons for your students, you might want to stick around for this one. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is show you very quickly how you can create content for your channel. Okay, so let's say I've got a slide deck. Okay, and I want to go through the slide deck and explain things to my students, right? I'm going to start with my blank slide. I'm going to delete a couple of things here. And I'm going to use a tool called Screencastify. So you might want to use a Chrome browser for this, but of course, you can use QuickTime Player. Screencastify saves to Google Drive and things like that, so you might want to consider using Screencastify. If you don't know what that is, you have to go to the Chrome Web Store, type in Screencastify, and when you get it right there at the top, basically this is a screen recording tool or your face recording tool, your camera recording tool, built right into Google Chrome, which is very convenient. Yours is going to say add to Chrome if you don't have it. Mine says remove from Chrome because I do have it. So let's say I first want to create a video for my students explaining something. Well, either Screencastify will pop up here as a Chrome extension, or you tap your little puzzle piece and you go down to it and you're going to find it. Yeah, there it is, Screencastify. And I tap on that. And so it pops up here. You can see it right up here. If that disappears, just use your little puzzle piece to find it again. And wait for this to load. And I'm having trouble loading. That's a real bummer. I'm going to try that again. So I'm going to go find Screencastify. Yeah, I'm going to just tap on it again. Let's hope it opens this time. There we go. So you can do your webcam, your desktop, or just a browser tab like this tab right here. So you don't get all the other stuff in behind it. And it's got a countdown you can use and that kind of thing. You got drawing tools. You can embed a webcam so that your face appears right here. In fact, let's do that just for the sake of this video. I'm going to click record. Notice it's checking my microphone. You can use an external microphone as well, but your headphones are just fine. Okay, so I'm going to choose my entire screen, or you could just choose the Google Slides window. That's your choice. So I click share, I'll hide that. Okay, so I know I'm recording now. So I'm going to click my present button. That's going to hide my little camera in the bottom, by the way. Okay, everybody. So in this lesson, we're going to talk about YouTube and learning engagement. So thanks a lot. Skip all those little things. Okay, so in this lesson, you're going to learn blah, 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 blah. I'd like you to listen to this video for 1 minute and think about and so on and so forth. You kind of go through your slide presentation, you do your recording, and I'm going to get out of that. And so Screencastify is not up here right now, but I know I am recording. I'm going to close that window because I don't really need it. Right up in the top, you're going to see a camera icon. You can tap on that. I'm not sure that you can see it right now. You probably should. But if you don't see it, you can go down to you can go over to the puzzle piece again. And you can see here that Screencastify is recording because it has a little record button going. So I'm going to tap that, and it's going to stop my recording. Sorry, it won't stop your recording. I have to pause it, so I can pause it there. And now you can trim your recording in the beginning and the end, right? So let's say, you know, I want to pause, take a break, and then come back and record a different tab. That's fine. If I'm happy, I can just click the stop button, and it's going to open a new tab for me. And then I can view the video and see how it is. So let me just pause it down here at the bottom. You see a little pause thing. I'm going to tap that. And let's say I want to trim it. I know that I'm not going to need it until right about there. So I'm going to click my little, notice I toggled over, and I'm going to click my scissors. And I want to do the same thing at the end. So at the end, I'm just going to go right back to where I think I don't need it. Yeah, let's go. And there was the end of my lesson, right about there. It's my scissors. And I'm going to click Save Trim. And I'll click Trim. And note it says trimming my video. Just wait for that to load. And I'm going to pause that. Thank you. It was successful. That's wonderful news. All right, so now you can share it to Google Classroom. You can get an embed code from Google Drive. There's different ways you can share. If you want, you can also download it, right? You can export just the audio for like a podcast, for example. Don't do the animated GIF if it's any more than 20 or 30 seconds. But you can export it as an MP4 video. But you can publish directly to YouTube. So I'm going to click Publish to YouTube. And I can choose a YouTube channel. And that's going to open up. I'm not going to get into that, actually. I can give it a title, test video, or demo video. It's really more of a demo video. I'm going to choose to make that unlisted, because we don't really need people seeing that. Give it a description. And now I can't click upload, so you do have to click a channel to do that. So you click add a channel. And I'm going to sign into GEG Nagoya. That's the one we're using right now. You do have to have certain permissions. Okay, so I put my information here. I'm going to change that to unlisted, and I'm going to click upload. So now it's uploading, uploading, uploading. Okay, so now I can copy the link and share it, or I can view it on YouTube. So let's tap on that and see what it looks like. Now, it'll take longer if you have a long video or a long lesson. Now, here it says we're processing, right? And YouTube does that. When you upload a video, it's going to take a while to process, okay? So what I'm going to do is go back to this. I'm going to close that. I'm going to download it, okay? So I'm going to choose Export as MP4. I'm going to choose to convert the frame rate. 30 seconds, 30 FPS frame per second is always good. I'm going to click Export, and it shouldn't take too long. You can see down at the bottom, it's exporting. Now I'm doing this because I want to upload it for you. I want to show you how YouTube kind of works with the uploads. Let's just kind of wait for that. And just double check what the name of that was. Let's see. That's going to be like the auto name that it generates for you. So let's say here is our YouTube channel, right? Remember, we went to the icon or avatar, profile image, or avatar if you want, and clicked on your channel, and it brought us here. Now, first thing I want to show is customize channel. Okay, I'll just quickly go through you know, how you can see different things. Now, this is kind of the older view. Here you can see your subscribers, and you tap on that, and then you can get a list. Just wait for that to load here. And I'm going to close that one up. You get a load of you know, other information that you can look at, right? You can see on the side here, you can look at all the videos that you've uploaded. Right, so these are the videos that we have. These are the uploads, but if you click on live right next to that, You can see that we've got, in our case, far more live videos than we have uploaded videos, right? You can look at your playlists that you've created. So you tap on that, and it's going to give you your playlists, and you can edit your playlists from here, right? Special events, you can click on that and then go and delete your playlist. I'm going to tap out of that. Here you can add playlists as well. You probably won't do it with that method. Analytics. So you can see, how you're doing. We had 138 views in the last month. We only do these videos once a month, right? You can look at your audience engagement and your reach and that kind of thing. You can see how many views per video you've had. As you can see, some more than others in our case. You can see, unique viewers, 100. That's actually pretty good for us anyway. And you can see over time how things have changed. If you only do one video a month, obviously you're not going to have much traffic across that. And again, you can see the watch time, average 2 minutes and 38 seconds. And you can see your audience, right? Where's your audience from, right? You can see that some are subscribers, some are not. You can see the age and gender. And you can also click see more and see what countries they come from in that. Comments is important because if people are engaging with you, you want to see the comments and give them feedback. You click reply, and you notice here that I was logged in myself, and you can thumb up their comments and give them feedback to them. Like, they're giving you feedback. It's good to kind of comment back with them. This could be your students, for example, right? Likely spam. Now, I've got my settings so that people cannot have their comments public. So this clearly is spam because they're looking for if you need video promotion. So I'm going to throw that in the trash. I don't want that there. Another thing is subtitles. Right, you can add subtitles and things like that. Okay, you can see my video has uploaded now, but I'm going to show you another way to upload. So you can choose to have subtitles on videos. You can notice in the view that we're here looking at, we don't have subtitles set here, so we'll show you how to do that in a moment. If you've got over 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, then you can monetize, meaning you can make money, right? Notify me when I'm eligible. That's not what we're about at GEG Nagoya, so we won't do that. If you're looking for copyright-free music, the YouTube audio library is great. You can listen to songs. And if you like it, then you can click the download button. Now, if you want, you can search by filter, genre, mood, artist. What I do recommend, and this music's copyright-free, which is nice. You can use it as background music for your video, and you have different moods and genres. But I like the Audio Library Classic because the one thing that I like about it the most is setting the genre along with the mood. So it's ambient and bright, and it's acoustic guitar, and it is about 2 minutes long, and attribution's not required. I really narrowed it down, so I've got the one video that, or the one song that I might be able to use in my video. And note that they have sound effects as well, and you can search sound effects by categories, spooky music and things like that. So I like the classic audio library. Okay, let's close that up. So let's go to the settings here, down to the bottom left, right? You tap on that, and this is where you set up your channel, right? So if you want keywords that always come up in your tags, you can put them in there. Advanced settings, this is where you can set it to not made for kids. Or if you want to review every video, you check that off. You do have to check one of these off for every video. For your branding, you can add a watermark at the end of it. So we've got our GEG Nagoya logo. So you would just upload your brand watermark there. And there are certain features that you have to see if you're eligible or not. If you click on status and features, you're going to see all those the different features you can use, like live streaming, for example. There are certain requirements for these. Uploading videos longer than 15 minutes. For some people, that's a must, like us. Okay, so I'm going to tap out of that. And upload defaults. This is very good. For every video we upload, we don't, the title always changes, but our links and things don't. So we put them in there. Our videos always go public, and we always have our tags in there. If you do that, it just saves you time in the future. If you click advanced settings, then you can make yourself an education category, your license, the original language, and things like that. I've got community contributions. I've got it as off because I don't want people commenting. And you notice here the comments, I've got them not, I don't want to allow all comments. I hold them all for review or ones that might be inappropriate, right? And again, community, and then you've got certain agreements. Your community is where you can add moderators to your channel. So I'm going to close that up because we don't want to change those, but that's down there in your settings tab. So let's go back to the channel and upload a video, and you can see how all of that stuff kind of works. Okay, YouTube Studio, actually, I think I'll just quickly tap on that and show you. You tap on YouTube Studio within your channel. That's going to take you to all this stuff here. So it's one less step that you have to go to when you want to customize your channel. All right, just wanted to show you that because it's just a quicker way to customize things. So when I want to add a video, all I have to do is go up here and click Create a New Video or Post. I will point out that you've got YouTube apps like just if you tap on your little waffle there, that'll take you to YouTube Creator Academy. You should check that out. YouTube Kids and music and that kind of thing. And your notifications, you can tap on that and then see if you have any notifications. I tend to not have them. We tend to not have them in this. So I'm going to click Create a Video. If you want, you can go live. This isn't a session on doing live YouTube videos. You need a third-party tool at the moment, like OBS, or use StreamYard. We won't get to that today, unfortunately. But if you click Upload Video, you're going to get this prompted. And so what you can do is drag and drop a video, or you can select your file. So I'm going to click Select Files, and I'm going to go to my ridiculously messy desktop and try to find that video that we just made. And it's nice and short, which is why that's the one that I want to use. Let me go with MB4. Give me some love here. The longer your video is, the longer it's going to take to upload. Let me just quickly check my ridiculously messy desktop. And let's see, unfortunately, it looks like that video did not go in there. So I'm going to get a shorter video. Whoops, wrong one here. So I know I've got a really short video in. Let's go right here. Let's go through vids. It's going to choose. Bear with me for one quick moment here. Yeah, there we go. Going to use that one. Let's say this is my tutorial video. I'm going to click Open. I've got a short one because I want this to go up. So call this demo video. And notice now all my descriptive text is here. All I have to do is tap that, put it down, and then write description here, ... If I want, I can upload a thumbnail. They're going to choose thumbnails for you. If I want to upload a custom thumbnail, then I just had to tap that. And let's see, let me get another one. These are not copyright free at the moment, so this is going to be a private video. Let's go with, let's see, that looks kind of cool. So now I've got my thumbnail that I want. I can copy my link and share it later. Is this audience for kids? No. And click more options, and you can choose things like the country. You can add to the tags. These tags are my defaults. And then I can add to them like demo, YouTube, or whatever. Make sure you have the spelling right. If not, just exit, delete it by clicking X. And then you can choose some other little features. If you click Next, then you're going to be prompted. You can add cards. Cards are things that show up at the end. The end screens and cards. Cards are actually promoted stuff that pops up like links in your video. We're not going to add those right now. Click Next. I want this to stay unlisted because we don't really need this on our thing. You can schedule it and publish it later. But when you're done, you click Save. And a long video is going to take a while to save, and it's going to take a while to process. This is only 12 seconds long, which is why it took no time at all. But for your videos, it might take a while. I'm going to copy the video link if I want, but I'm going to click Close. And so now you see my video here. And if I want, I can click Edit, and I can change the details. I can change my thumbnail and that kind of thing, right? I can add cards and other propaganda. I can go into YouTube Editor. When you have a video there, you can actually go to the editor, and then you can trim the beginning and the end, and you can add a little bit of audio, like background music. You can blur faces and things like that. Good for classes with students that don't want their faces to be seen. Let's go back here. And essentially, that is it. Um, so let's go back to our presentation here because we're pretty much finished here, folks. But let's kind of start with a bit of a reminder that we are GEG Nagoya. Find us at gegnagoya.com. On October 7th, we're going to show you the wonderful world of Google Earth, a whole bunch of different things in Google Earth that you might want to use for your classroom. So October 7th, Wednesday at 8 p.m. Japan Standard Time, episode 10 of our 2020 series. We are getting so close to the end, folks. So thanks very much for joining us. We hope you got something out of this, whether you're watching now or whether you're watching afterwards. But thanks so much for your time, and we'll see you again.